Alright guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead, and boy do I got a video for you today. Now those of you who have been watching the channel and following know that we were providing internet around the farm with a Mocha adapter. Basically sharing one internet connection with the entire farm. Now as we move forward with our plans long term, it's to Airbnb this property and then us live down here in the tiny house kind of managing everything. We don't want to rent it all the time, but just enough to bring in some income to the homestead. So we had talked in that video about also having wireless outside and maybe doing some hip campsites or, having internet in the woods so that if somebody happened to get hurt when we were back here cutting wood or something happened. So I was going to go ahead and buy something to set it up. Now, because we own 25 acres here, we needed something that was really going to throw the signal. Now, I did have some old 2.4 gigahertz equipment. I had two different old antennas that were directional, and then I had an old Super G router. And anybody who knows those, they were great routers back in the day. You could do pretty much anything with them. They could be repeaters, they could just be standard routers, but they had their limitation. 54 megabits per second was their limitation through wireless. So if you think about it, if I said to you 54 is the theoretical what the limit can get, you're not going to get that much. So me and Missy were having a talk, and if you've got, say, two people out in a hammock or three people out in a hammock watching 4K or 1080 videos, you just smoked all the throughput of that. So not really a great choice. And then just like normal, it seems like things just work out. You can call it luck, you can call it the universe, you can call it karma, you can call it the man upstairs watching over us. But a company reached out to help us solve the solution. So a company called UeeVii, which I actually was looking at one of their products when I was researching for equipment to buy. This was one of the names that kept coming up all the time. Now, I want to make this clear right off the bat. They saw the video and contacted us and said, we have some options that could be better than what you're doing. And anything would have been better than what I was doing. Let's just be honest, guys. But they didn't come and say, hey, why don't you test this product for us? Like most people, that contact us. They said, let's tailor a solution to your situation. And they basically gave us carte blanche and wanted to sit down and talk to us and say, how far are you trying to project this signal? This company makes all kinds of products, guys. Bridge, point to point, mesh, all of it. But at the end, we decided we just needed to take care of the immediate area here on the farm. And since the farm itself and the garage are the highest points on the property, this would be the best solution, which is also a very cost-effective solution. Now, if you want to know anything more about how to get this, the store with all their products, I will put links down in the description box below. And don't be afraid also to get a hold of these guys and ask them questions because they will communicate with you. Now this is the AX3000, which is a wireless access point. All right, it does 2.4 and 5.8 gig. It is Wi-Fi 6. Now, there's two connections on the bottom of this, RJ45 and SFP optical interface. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the optical interface side. I haven't researched it much, but basically my understanding is that's if you want to run something kind of like fiber, if you're going longer distances, because this will be probably within about 40 feet, if not less, from our actual internet router. Then we won't need that. We'll just run it over the RJ45, which is Ethernet. So this thing, technically it says has a 656-foot omnidirectional range. All right, and we are going to test this. So watch the end of the video because I'm going to show you some testing that's going to be kind of crazy. It does support mesh, all right? It is IP67 waterproof. This was one of the major factors for me because I was going to have to buy a waterproof box. I was going to have to run power up the pole in order to run that router. It was just going to be a pain. This is 48 volt power over internet, Ethernet. So basically it goes PoE. It goes power over Ethernet. So the Ethernet cable you're plugging into this that's driving the internet to it to share is also carrying your power. How easy is that, guys? Now, what I want to say about this is this thing supports more devices you could ever want. And I say this because I know somewhere this video is going to be watched by a campground. And they're going to try and shy away from this product because they think, oh, can't handle our load. You don't have to go buy that insanely expensive equipment, guys. This will do 256 connections. 256. No problem. Now, there's a radio optimizer built into this. And this is where I think people that have campgrounds or people that are at fairgrounds and want to do this, bigger commercial setups might want to think about this, or even those people that want internet outside their house but live in town, because it'll optimize based on the frequencies. So if there's a whole bunch of different frequencies going off around you that would normally cause interference, it's going to optimize the channel to the one that has the least intrusive to the network. So it'll basically move you to a channel in this to where you won't have as much interference, so it won't mess up your signal. Now, knowing all that, you have to ask yourself, well, this thing's probably like $500. Nope. This thing's just around $100, a little bit more. Like I said, the links in the descriptions, look for yourself. But there's other options. You don't necessarily need this one, or there may be other solutions they have that'll work better. But let's crack this thing open and let's see what all it comes with. All right, guys, so let's check out what's in the box. Look at that packaging, guys. So you got your wireless access point model set up. Some excellent packaging. So you got a stainless steel clamp. Your prongs for going in the bottom to make it waterproof. Pretty nice. This is your power over Ethernet. And there's your power cord. So you'll plug this in there and it will give you power over Ethernet. Pretty cool. So then of course you have your box. Wow, that's sharp. So there's the optical, there's your RJ45. And these, my friends, are your antenna ports. So we will cover those back up. And obviously, there's the back. Now, this thing's got some serious venting, and the front's plastic, the back is metal. All right. And you can see right there, Wi-Fi 6, 3000 megabits per second, outdoor wireless access point. Okay. Now we continue on. We got our Ethernet cable. Very nice. All right, so this would go against your pole and slide on the back of your box, like so. Doing this with a camera in front of me is not easy, but you guys get the drift. We'll push that up on there. It will lock in place on that tab, and then your clamp will go through it to clamp it on. So that's how that works. There's a cap if you're not going to use one. Okay. And our two antennas. I'm really excited to get this put up, you guys. You have no idea. I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. Ooh, those are hard. Okay. You can see they just screw on there. So, I think that's it as far as the unboxing of stuff. But I feel like it might be time to go out and get this installed, because I am getting super excited to have this up and running. Now I will have to do a few little modifications, and I will show you all the stuff that I'm changing, as well as installing this, using it, and testing it at serious distance. So here we go. All right guys, and we're back. So I got it installed. It's actually really simple. I'll walk you through it, but it's kind of windy today, so bear with us. All right. Now, first of all, this is an Ethernet cable I had. It's not very high quality, so we will get some losses out of that because it's the ribbon style. But as you can see, they just go in the bottom. Even this kind seals up in the seal they have with it. For anyone who needs it, there is a reset button inside here. But as you can see, very simple to attach. You put the stainless steel on there. That thing's going nowhere. And an excellent line of sight across the property, all the way around. Now I do have a tower over there I could put it on, but honestly I think this is going to work pretty good. But I've got to get some silicone, fill that in after I change this to a higher quality wire. Now while I'm up here, the one thing I want to say is the higher you can get this, the better. This is probably one of the highest points of our property. There is some stuff that can cause interference around, so it's not the ideal location. But, I mean, for where it is. But let's go inside, I'll show you the rest of the setup, and let's do some speed tests. Alright guys, I know this is a giant mess. Bear with me here. This container I bought for like $10 at Menards. I'm going to cut slits in to let wires in. We're going to put all this equipment in there. Now I did try to connect this directly to the modem from Spectrum, and it doesn't want to play. I probably could just look a little more into the settings and make it work, but it worked right out the box with a router. So I'm just going to go to a router because I need a router there anyways. I was going to use a switch, but that didn't work either. I'm not sure why. I don't want to take the time to figure it out honestly right now, guys. This is going to be our base of operations. We're going to have a line go next door, a line go to the main house, and a line down the tiny house. Now we are probably going to change to a wireless internet solution in the future, but this is what we have for now. This is the power over Ethernet I told you about. So basically the Ethernet goes out of the modem into the router, out of the router to the power over Ethernet, where it gets power and goes back out and up up there. So I want to give you a benchmark to compare. So coming straight out of the modem, and as you can see on the computer here, let's get you close. This is hooked directly to the router. So this is basically a wired connection. This is as fast as you're going to get. And then I want to mention the EERO. That's important because that's who we're going to be benchmarking it against. So let's see what we end up with here. All right, so the absolute best we're going to have to compete with is 92 megabits per second. So not too bad, but what we need to do is get some distance, and let's see what this thing can do. All right, guys, I don't know if you can see Missy. Wave, honey. She's way up there, way up by the building. We're at the front door of the tiny house right now. Like literally the tiny house is right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what we can get. Now just to show, hello is the network we're on. All right. And then we are going to go open up our speed test app, and we're going to change our test servers so they match. And let's see what we get. I know this is hard to see, guys. See if we can change your guys' angle so you can see a little better. All right, so we got 87.5 all the way down here. All right, guys, so right there, see it right there on the peak? That's the unit. We are going down here. Now I will put this on time lapse so you guys can see how far we go, but not have to sit here forever. But look at all the trees and stuff in the way. We're gonna go down here and get in Missy's deer stand, see what kind of speeds we get. All right, guys, so up there's the building. There's my wife's stand. She would be higher than I am, obviously. Spectrum, Eero. By being on Spectrum, you know we're actually on the AP. We're still, I can't even see the building, guys. All right, so it's going up there about 37, 38, 39. That's not bad, guys. Considering I can't even see the building. It's not even like in view. So 39.5 is what we got on that one. Now, let's go the other end of the property. All right, guys, we're back at the building now. This time it's time to go this way. So I'll put it in fast motion, but just wait till you see how far we go this time. All right, guys, I don't know if you can see that little blip right there, but that's it. And we're line of sight. So, Spectrum, EOO server, here we go. Boom. Off to the races at like 80s and 90s. I don't know if you guys can see that. 93, guys. Line of sight is everything with these. You can see, man, it ended at 93.2. That is amazing, guys. All right, guys, I know it's hard to see, but that's our tiny house. We're on the neighbor's property. And way beyond that, the second smokestack you see is beyond that is where it is. So what we're gonna do here is run another one. Spectrum, EERO. Hit start. Guys, this is beyond that range, they said. And look at that. Guys, I'm pulling 25, 26. I know the wind's blowing like crazy. It's getting bad out here. But I can just barely see that over the roof line. That's crazy. I got 26 on that one. So guys, as you can see, it's all about line of sight. If you can almost see it or see it, it's going to pick it up. And that's pretty impressive, honestly. All right, guys, so at the end of the day, this is an amazing product. I've shown you how far it can pick up. I mean, it's pretty amazing, honestly. If you've got like one of those farmland type homes where it's just flat land for miles, this thing's going to be amazing. I couldn't even imagine. We are up high up here on the hill, but we do have a lot of trees. Obviously, this will have a little bit less of an impact in the summer when all of the leaves are back on the tree and stuff, because line of sight does matter, but I don't think it's going to break down that much on our property just because of the way it's already had the trees taken out in certain areas, which are the same areas that we're going to be utilizing this in. So all the information will be down below in the description box. Amazing product. Go check it out for yourself. Be careful of impersonators putting out cut rate junk that is not the same quality as this is. So with that said, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have by now, guys, come on, go down, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos. Leave us a like. Let us know down in the comments, do you need one of these? Are you running a system like these? And if so, what name brand are you running? We'd love to hear about them, how they work for you in your situation, and we will see you guys in the next one. That thing's freaking awesome.